Hello, and welcome to the 66th installment of ASMR Drawing. Something very different today, as you can see my face, and I've got an incredibly rudimentarily set up GoPro here, filming what I'm looking at, and I'm gonna do a haul, I guess, of all these recently acquired comic books and general art books, I guess. Over the past month I've accumulated some from a shop or from, well, this one that I'll talk about first is lent to me by a friend who said that I'd enjoy it, and it's okay. I mean, I'll get into it in a minute. But, yeah, this is something new, so hello to my face, I guess. One main reason I haven't wanted to do this before is because I guess I didn't want people seeing my room and my stuff. But I've rigged up this, again, quite rudimentary backdrop with a blanket so you can't see my stuff. But anyway, maybe this is a new horizon for the channel. We'll see as I branch out. But for now, it's just about drawing and art. So this is Murder Falcon. My friend lent it me because it's about like rock music and a guy playing guitar, and I like that kind of thing. Just check this is doing it. Yes, it is. Thank goodness. You may be amused to hear that this is being held up by a little bit of sellotape and my hair bobble, which is why my hair isn't tied up right now, as it has been all day. So I had to sacrifice it for the cause. But anyway, Murder Falcon, it's drawn. The art is cool. Like, and it's kind of like retro vans. Like, look at that. That's really cool. That monster there. But it just, like, what it has in art, it kind of, I'm only a couple of pages in, it lacks in, like, story. I don't know, it kind of made me feel like there was one before it that, and I'm, like, missing the plot or something. Oh, that's cool, that's good. I like his van. He can it's this guy, I've forgotten his name, but he can, like, summon this Murder Falcon with his guitar. And he fights all these monsters that are appearing in the city where he lives. But it does just do that kind of thing where it moves at like 1,000 miles an hour. The art's cool, but the story is lacking. I don't really know if I want to finish it, to be honest. Oh, this is... So that is a Motley Crue album cover. That is... I almost want to say it's like a Bathory album cover. I didn't know. I've never found this bit before. That is a Megadeth album cover. That's Peace Cells and Who's Buying. That, I'm pretty sure, is a High on Fire album. Death to This Communion, maybe? Any metalheads out there could probably help me there. That's Bolt Thrower. That's definitely Bolt Thrower. That's Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power. That's Iron Maiden. I don't know which one though. That is Judas Priest. Hopefully you can still see these. Sorry, I'm going to have to keep checking. Yeah, you can. Okay. You can also see my microphone on an upturned mug. That is... I don't know what that is. I think that's another Maiden one. Oh, this is just general drawings. But it's a hell of a thing, you know. But mixed reviews so far. I'm going to stick with it and keep reading it. I think I've probably said this 1,000 times on the channel, but I can only really get into stuff like this if I really like the art, which is why I think I read a lot more like of the indie stuff rather than this kind of stuff, because I'm not a big fan of the art. But anyway, next up is... Okay, so I went to a comic book shop with some friends a couple of weeks ago because the friend who lent me that is super into them, and I'm like so into them. But I found the bargain bucket, and I rinsed the bargain bucket with all these things that are like £1. And I'll do the standalone ones first. I got The Adventures of Luther Arkwright. I really don't know what it is. It just looked cool. It's like it's number 6 of a series of 9, and it just had this like Aleister Crowley, like gothy vibe to it that I thought was pretty cool. The Demon Queen was not evil, just totally vain, and able to alter people's emotions at will or whim. Remember that. Keep it constant. Okay, this is a bit lame. Keep it constantly in mind. It explains a great deal about her. She got bored easily, and she has been shut away in limbo for several thousand years. It's not really astounding that when she did get out, she went on something of a spree. Quite okay. Okay. But the art is cool, and it's on this like thin newspaper paper. Like, you see this? This is cool. This is really cool. And I kind of feel like the words are actually handwritten, which is something that I like a lot. And the art changes. So look, there's this baby here, and well, it gets a bit not safe for work here. This page is awesome. See, I didn't read any of the plot or what it's about, but I didn't realise it was basically pretty pornographic too, sorry. But yeah, it's got that like Electric Wizard 60s pornographic vibe. I also thought this was cool flicking through it. Like, obviously that's drawn and it's got a bit of a Robert Crumb thing going on, but look at that, that's like an actual photograph. I quite like that mixed media element. Yeah, and it's very, like realistic faces, and everyone's really good looking in it. But yeah, I guess it's made to look this old. Reminds me of this game I was playing the other day. I got it on Game Pass. What was it called? Like Castle Opus or something. It was free on Game Pass. It was alright, it's pretty simple, but that is a lot like it, those bits there. Quite like it when comics are just all over the place. That's why I'd probably favour this over Murder Falcon, because Murder Falcon's pretty like uniform, whereas this, it seems to like have a lot of different styles. I kind of want to get the other 9, a complete story in 9 parts. Yeah, just for how cool it is visually. I'm not the erotica and the kind of corny blurb of it. It's kind of lame, but. Next, I had to get one of these because I've never had one, but I see it all the time at 2000 AD. And I kind of wanted to just get this. Again, it was like £1. I just wanted to get this because the art is so cool. Like, I felt I could, or just even, I don't know, it's not necessarily my thing, but any of these pages, you could like wallpaper a wall with these pages. I think that would look really neat. Kind of wanted to get a few of these because I feel there's going to be some like people in my parents' generation who've had like every issue of this, and they collected them and read them as a kid. This has been like thoroughly thumbed through. And I'll be honest, I reckon this page is cool. I reckon parts like this, comics like this, ended up in this shop because like, I don't know, someone died and they had them all in their house, and then they had them all in their house, and then people don't know what to do with them, so they just get donated to. Just my notes for stuff that won't mean anything to you. Someone dies, their house is full of comics, it gets donated to the comic book shop. So maybe they'll be worth something. Although I'm sure if they were worth something, they'd have been sold by the person who knows something about comics, who runs the comic book, for the correct amount of money. I hardly doubt I've found a gold mine here. are like, it's like been done with, looks like it's been done with felt tip. I'm sure it's been painted, but it's a really nice effect. Again, same with the Luther Arkwright one. It's like that whole newspaper material. It's like the kind of newspaper I'd imagine you find when you're like destroying a house and it's lining the walls. 2000 AD monthly. Oh, that's the best of. I assume these were weekly. They're only small. But anyway, I just kind of got that for the hell of it. Right, next I found a bunch of these Sleaze Castle comics. I don't know, like, I'd never heard of it, but there was a bunch of them, and it wasn't $6.99, it wasn't even $3.49, it was like £2. But anyway, I've got 7 and 8 here, and I've got these director's cuts. But again, the art isn't even necessarily my thing, but the fact that they're like all over the place, I really like, and they seem to be telling numerous different stories, almost in numerous different styles, but all pretty uniform. I guess there are a couple of different artists on it, but I just thought it was cool. And I'm, again, not really into the sci-fi stuff, not a big sci-fi fan generally, but I don't think that's focused right. It'll do. I think it's focused on this and not me, but that's fine. Yeah, not really into sci-fi, but I quite like just normal stories about normal things going on. Yeah, it's like all over the shop. Again, it's all in like this weird language, look. And that's a nice frame there. Anyway, so I got those like director's cuts, whatever that means. I guess just like longer form versions or like best of. Like, look at this, it's totally trippy with the rabbits. And then goes into this like dotted page. It reminds me loads of Ghost. What's it called? Ghost World. I've got it up there. That's why I looked up there. The Daniel Clowes one about those two friends just cutting about in a town. I like the what do you call it? The type, the font, whatever here too. Big fan of that. That's a nice page. Farewell, my multi-sleep blow dart job. Oh, is this going to be like a saucy one as well? Look at these aliens talking in like an alien language. It's funny. Next, Popple Pool Plop. If I was going to make a comic, it'd probably be kind of daft like this. Little Abbey Road reference with the guy, that guy who's actually in the Abbey Road album cover, most famous Photoshop of all time. He was waiting for his wife, picking up his wife, and he's in the background of Abbey Road, which is quite cool. He's like, I think he died now, but he's just like this old geezer. And yeah, I got these 7 and 8 smaller issues. Again, another Beatles reference. Maybe the guy was a big Beatles fan. Anime reference. I didn't notice this actually. Yeah, these are a little bit shorter, but the same kind of thing. Like a really, I don't know. It just kind of speaks to me the way these were made. I can't really put my finger on why. I don't think they're particularly innovative or groundbreaking, but written by Dave McKinnon. Oh, I was getting mixed up with him and Dave McKean, another comic book guy, drawn by Terry Wiley. Yeah, I don't know. Again, they're on that kind of nice paper. This one looks a little bit boring. It's got these like gleep aliens again. I really like the black, filled in black. It's very dynamic, I think. That's a nice page. Looking for the something time. I don't know. Interesting. I'm interested to read these. I am actually going to read these. Maybe I'll make a video of me reading them. Who knows? Chips for life. That's a good back cover too. Wow, these are great. These are pretty good find for like a pound. Okay, next I had heard of these, Transmetropolitan. I've seen them around because I wanted to get them before, and I got them because the art, again, it's that like sci-fi thing that I'm not really into, but the art is really cool. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. I scared it away. Good. Look, it's been blue tacked down. I feel that's a level of authenticity that you wouldn't get anywhere else. But yeah, it's cool. It's a pretty nice copy of this for £1. But yeah, the art is like insane. I'll just get a bit paranoid about this. Okay, we can still see. The art is nuts, really. And I think he's this like, you know, anti-hero character in this Blade Runner world where, I did look it up, is he like an alien or something? Is he like a cop? Is he like a private detective? But anyway, yeah, he's this kind of gritty, city-dwelling, urban metropolis character. And yeah, the art of these cities that he lives in is very, very cool. Rottenburg. That seems to ring a bell as to where this is set. I'm going backwards here, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, at the start he's got a huge beard and long hair, like me when I grew my beard long. Maybe that's why I was subconsciously drawn to this. The very first short story. Oh. This is the first ever one? No, surely not. Spider Jerusalem, that's his name. What a hell of a flipping name that is. City filled with every sin you can imagine and a few that have been imagined for you. Here is Spider Jerusalem, the cranky, miserable bastard who will guide you through this future Babylon. Here is the finest black humour and the purest hate, a sense of justice hissed through gritted teeth. Okay. Not as corny as the other one, but... Up a goddamn mountain. Anyway, I'll put it back in its sleeve. I did see a Transmetropolitan. I nearly bought a Transmetropolitan. Oh, this sounds horrible. Transmetropolitan, like, anthology. Huge kind of graphic novel with all the stuff. I didn't. A long time ago. This other Transmetropolitan. This is a really cool cover. I like this with the black and white, and then with the colour on this newspaper. Again, blue tack shut. I seem to remember I had a flick through this earlier today, and the art wasn't doing it as much for me as the other one. And that page is pretty wild. Here he is again, Spider Jerusalem. Oh, doing loads of drugs. Nice. Apologies for this brazen nudity in this book. This is almost less of a comic. It's more like just... It's like a bit more of a picture book. I mean, obviously it's a comic book. It's cool what people come up with, but minus the cover, this one's probably now thinking my least favourite that I got. Hopefully they'll be worth like thousands of pounds one day, and they'll be my retirement. I'd say I've got like a couple of £100. Hello again. This camera died. Well, it didn't die, it ran out. It only does it in 20-minute stints. I think I've talked about this before. But anyway, we're back. So this... Oh, what I was saying before was like... If these Transmetropolitans are worth loads of money, it could be my retirement. I think I've got like £400 worth of graphic novels on this shelf to my left, which would be a pretty measly retirement, but maybe. So I got this Subway art book for my birthday. That's pretty cool because I've been kind of getting into graffiti and whatnot. It's just really nice. It's like a really nice reference book. Let's see if I can get this a bit more. I should have done this earlier, really. Just a really nice reference book for like 80s New York graffiti art. I haven't read it properly yet. This is cool. You see how he's like planned it out and done it. It's interesting because you can see definitely how graffiti is really altered in the past 20 years. It's neat though. A little glimpse into like underground New York culture, I guess. Literal underground, the underworld. Oh, some of the pages in the middle like completely fold out, which is cool. It's a cool photograph. I think in a different life I'd have been really into graffiti and doing it. Maybe if I wasn't such a wimp. Because then I actually have the nerve to go out and do it. Nice. It's cool because whoever's done this has clearly been photographing for a long time. Oh, this is it. This like folds out, I think, or one of them. Where's the fold out? Anyway, World War III. Yeah, that's a little bit closer than we might like to think, if I'm perfectly honest. Cops. Funnily enough, that book I'm reading that you might have heard me talking about in the last video, Bonfire of the Vanities, this is kind of this era, New York. A lot of it's on the subway. And in the introduction he's talking about this incident he dreamt up on the subway of like a guy going through the Bronx or something, and he wears his Wall Street clothes. He puts his Wall Street clothes in a bag so he doesn't appear to be a target for muggers. Interesting. Oh, this is the bit that folds out. Cool. What's the other bit? Bonfire of the Vanities. What was I saying? Oh yeah, and then he was gonna have that as a main point in the book or something, but then the like a nice little doggy. Can you see that? Just see the little dog. I like the way everyone's dressed, but he didn't want to do it because the Bernard. This crime happened like just as he was releasing the book or writing the book. Bernard Getz shot for like muggers on the New York Underground in like the late 80s, early 90s. Just shot them all dead, and they were like asking him for money, but it wasn't like a threatening proper mugging situation. He just shot them and then disappeared, and it kind of blew up all over the media. Like, you know, he was very divisive. People were obviously infuriated by it, and also some other people agreed with it. But anyway, that blew up, and then he didn't want to put that in the book because he didn't want people to think that obviously he was just like stealing things out of the media and not coming up with stuff himself. That kind of looks like the Keep On Trucking guy, the Robert Crumb character. But if anyone's read Bonfire of the Vanities, I'm kind of like 150 pages in. It's really good. I was going to read it after this. Again, maybe if I make a Patreon or a start branching out this channel, I'll start doing books because I like books. But yeah, it's nice to read something that you kind of vibe with. That's a nice page. Oh, this, yeah, I like all of these things. It's really interesting. Graffiti doesn't look like this anymore. It doesn't have this kind of janky element to it. Like, it's too polished now. My whole perspective and opinion on graffiti is changing by the nanosecond, apparently. Like, I like that. I like that kind of, almost, yeah, jankiness, maybe. And that's just as interesting as anything that's around now. I mean, I don't know enough about it, maybe. ASMR graffiti walking tour would be cool. Maybe I'll do that. Like, look at that. It's not, like, brilliant, but it's good. It's interesting. Yeah, really cool book. This is from two of my best friends, and all our birthdays are kind of a similar time of year. Oh, here they are. That's cool. They're into that. Lenny and Selma. Oh, it's them too. Okay, fine. Yeah, two of my best friends. Our birthdays are around the same time of year, and a few years ago we just thought we'd do something nice and start getting each other presents. And it's kind of good because with two of you can get something pretty nice, more than what one of you could get, and it's just good. I don't think guys get each other presents enough, or are kind to each other enough. We're kind to each other, but we're not like a loved up friendship group, you know. But anyway, thank you for joining me for maybe this new era of ASMR drawing videos, and this new-ish book haul from the last month or two. I'm kind of on a no-buy 2025, not buying like novels. This year I'm going to try and read all the ones that I've got. But this kind of stuff I don't mind because it's just reference. But yeah, thank you very much. I'm not sure when this video is going out, but I hope you have a good weekend or whatever. See you soon.